Subject to the specific social distancing and sanitation mandates, theaters, private social clubs, and restaurant dine-in services will be allowed to reopen on Monday, April the 27th.
Let's go live now to Sky News contributor Michael Ware. Michael, some states in America are clearly more willing to reopen now than to wait and follow the guidelines. What is going on there?
Oh, look, Laura, this is such a telling factor about, the many Americas. There's not one United States of America. There's at least several. There's New York, which should be a country unto its own. There's the East Coast. Then you have the Deep South, you have the Midwest, you have the Southwest, you have California, which is virtually a nation upon its own, and then you have the Northwest. So we're seeing the coronavirus reaction, both politically and in terms of public health versus economy, being reflected differently in red Republican states and blue Democratic states. Like New York is a Democratic state, California is a Democratic state. But what we're seeing in the South and in the Midwest, people want to get back to work. People want to get back to business. But what we have in Georgia is astounding everybody. There, the governor, now, at the moment, they've got about 19,000 COVID cases. Georgia's had 775 deaths. That's 10 times what I heard the health minister just say has died in Australia. And he wants to reopen on Friday. Now, the weird thing is what he wants to reopen. He wants to reopen bowling alleys, tattoo parlours, massage parlours, and beauty parlours. So you wonder what this governor's predilections are. And then, as you heard on Monday, he wants to reopen restaurants. This is a state, like I said, 775 dead. And the mayor of Savannah in Georgia says that they've got the 14th highest infection rate in the country in that state and only the 4th lowest testing rate. So you wonder what they're doing. Ohio, we're seeing them move to open by May 1. South Carolina is moving to open by May 1. But I think all of this about, it was best summarised by someone I saw on TV yesterday who said, do I risk going to work and getting sick, or do I risk staying at home and going broke? Here, you can get the attitude of some of these more Republican states from the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, Dan Patrick. Listen to this 70-something-year-old's attitude towards opening.
There are more important things than living, and that's saving this country for my children and my grandchildren, and saving this country for all of us. And I don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. But man, we got to take some risk and get back in the game and get this country back up and running.
Now, there you get a sense of what the attitude is, and that's the tension between the federal government and the states. There's 50 of them here in America. Now, what we're all going to see is that we're going to have the COVID class, or the COVID-19ers, the kids who are going through high school now who have been affected. One group of COVID-19ers that have been very lucky are 5 prisoners here in America on death row. Because of the coronavirus, their executions have been postponed. Now, given that 4 of those death row inmates are in Texas, and you've just heard from the Texas Lieutenant Governor, I think you know how that will end. But that gives you a sense of the pressures, the push and pull of health versus economy that's playing out here in the United States, Laura.
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating, Michael. And this is all in the context of a US election coming thick and fast. It's in November. It's not going to be delayed. But look, we'll have to talk to you about that on Friday. There's so much to get to in the US, but we appreciate your time as always.
Oh, the story never stops here.